This is Jack Fishman behind the camera talking with conductor Christopher Seaman, who opens the San Antonio Symphony's Classic Series this weekend, October 8th and 9th. Christopher, you're conducting a piece called A London Symphony. What makes it a London symphony?
Well, it's an English composer called Ralph Vaughan Williams, and he wanted to write a piece which had a big flavour of London about it. It begins with dawn, very, very quiet, the sun slowly coming up over the River Thames, and you hear the chimes of Big Ben, bong, 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 you hear that, and then it bursts into life, all the busyness, the rush, the energy of a great city. A lot of the tunes could be English folk songs. They're not, but they could be. So there's a lot of activity and bustle in the first movement. The second part, he thought of an afternoon in a quiet square, Bloomsbury Square in London. That has a little bit of melancholy about it. And you listen carefully, you can hear the harness bells of a hansom cab. You can hear a woman on the street selling lavender. Lavender, lavender, you know, from a big basket in the street. You buy some lavender, it's lucky, you see, apparently. It never worked for me. And then the third movement is a scherzo, it's a nocturne. And a lot of it's very quiet. And it's the mystery and the fleeting shadows and the lights that come and go in London at night. You will hear various things in that third movement. You will hear an accordion, a squeeze box, and a street band playing, marching up the street. They play their music, you see, and someone shakes a can and hopes to get a couple of pennies in those days. They would have got pennies, they probably wouldn't have got more. And that's the third movement. And then the last movement is rather stately. And apparently the English do funerals very well. We're told we're very good at big royal funerals. And this has a sense of a funeral march about it. Very noble, it's not depressing, it's very noble, it's very grand. And that is, the piece ends the way it began, with the river gliding away. And Vaughan Williams had in mind some words by H.G. Wells. The river passes, London passes, England passes. The end of it's very quiet, it's a very moving piece. It's full of colour, it's full of features which show how clever Vaughan Williams was at writing for orchestra, using the instruments, colouring the sound, producing a huge range of sounds from within the orchestra. It's a quirky piece, it's entertaining, it's fun, and you feel very good at the end. I played this many times with Vaughan Williams's favourite interpreter, Sir Adrian Boult. So I hope that second-hand I have got something from the composer via Sir Adrian. And I remember once doing it on the BBC in a broadcast when I was music director of the BBC Scottish Symphony. We played it in a concert and it was broadcast a few days later all over Britain on the radio by the BBC. And I got the most charming letter from Mrs. Vaughan Williams, the widow of the composer, Ursula. She was about 40 or 50 years younger than he was, and she lived to the age of about 90. And she was a real character. I met her 2 or 3 times. And anyway, she was kind enough to write to me saying she enjoyed the performance, and of course I treasured that letter a very great deal.
So that's October 8th and 9th at the Majestic Theatre. Christopher Seaman and Vaughan Williams, A London Symphony. Thank you.